Star Wars' latest series, The Acolyte, gets hate-bombed online. IMDb rating of 3.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes user rating of 16%. Particularly episode 3 is what the critics of Star Wars Acolyte seem to have a very, very, very big problem with. So Star Wars is accused of being woke, together with The Little Mermaid before it, together with Rings of Power. Now Star Wars' latest series is accused of going woke. What a big surprise. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. Let's watch what one of the critics say about Star Wars Acolyte episode 3.
Let's get this over with as quickly as possible. The episode begins 16 years before the main events of the show, on the peaceful planet of whatever stupid name the writers concocted this time. And we get to see strong female character and strong female antagonist when they were still little kids. I know this because of the subtle visual cues, like them still having the exact same hairstyle they'll have 16 years later. Because as we all know, everyone chooses to stay exactly the same forever.
So you have a problem with young black women's hair and hairstyle? So a hairstyle is a problem for you when watching Star Wars. Have these people even watched Star Wars? Episode 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9? Have you seen the crazy hairstyles that all of the aliens have? What about the rock star in Star Wars Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi, most ridiculous looking character ever? Yet the hair of young black women must change from when they are young to older.
Anyway, strong female character and strong female antagonist live with...
Why do you have a problem with a strong female character? There are strong male characters and strong female characters in Star Wars. Princess Leia. Have you seen Star Wars Episode 4, 5, 6? Princess Leia. That's a strong female character. You also have Luke Skywalker, strong male character. Han Solo. Do these people actually watch Star Wars? Or do they make these kinds of alt-right content just to argue that everything is woke and black people shouldn't get any movie roles? Because I really don't understand.
Their two mums in a coven. Strong female character and strong female antagonist live with their two mums in a coven of communist lesbian space witches that have chosen to isolate themselves from...
Just so that you know, there is no lesbian scenes whatsoever in Star Wars Episode 3. No lesbian scenes whatsoever. I don't know why that should be a problem, because in a galaxy you probably have many different types of ruling systems with different types of cultures. Some may be viewed as good and some may be viewed as bad by some species. But no, there is no lesbian scenes in Star Wars Episode 3 whatsoever.
The rest of the Republic, because the galaxy doesn't tolerate women like them. Oh my goodness, I wonder what that could possibly be a reference to.
This guy is so clearly misrepresenting Star Wars, the Acolytes. So the reason why the people of Brendok, a strange double moon planet filled with female characters, witches, they seem to be mystics, they wield the Force in a non-Jedi way, the Jedi don't like them, they are frowned upon and alienated a little bit like weirdos, like witches, similar to how witches in the medieval time were burned by the church. So the Jedi that arrive at Brendok, like Master Saul and his gang, they are viewed a little bit like a religious authority. And the witches are viewed a little bit like mystics. Similar to how the church persecuted witches in the medieval times. A clear reference to that history. I don't know how this guy gets it to mean something LGBTQ or rainbow when none of those scenes are there, and it's a very clear religious fight between the religious authority, which represents the Jedi Order, and the freelancer mystics who go to the occult that use the Force in their own way. They call it the thread. These are the people of Brendok, the witches. And yes, they lived communally. Collectively, it's supposed to represent some kind of strong, feminine, mystical witch magic, you have double moons on the planet, and moon energy usually in mysticism references the divine feminine. You have double moon, so very, very strong sort of feminine, mystical, black magic sort of people. They lived in a community, did initiation rituals. Osha didn't participate. May got an initiation to this mystical female order, and Osha was picked up by the Jedi. I don't know where he gets communism from. Were they communal? Sure. But, mystical orders, Buddhist temples, monasteries, etc. are communal. These people, do they even watch Star Wars? Do they even like Star Wars? I have seen all Star Wars movies. I used to be a big Star Wars fan. The criticism that Star Wars Acolytes gets is not representative to, similar to Rings of Power. I'm also a Lord of the Rings nerd. It's not representative to my experience when I'm watching this movie. I actually think it was a good episode, showing the Jedi in a not so positive light, showing the Jedi a little bit like religious authorities in the universe, and showing that there are other people who use the Force in another way, i.e. you don't get to gatekeep the Force. I like this story. I like the moral ambiguity of Osha and May also, because I think Star Wars Episode 1, 2, 3 was too linear. For example, Palpatine was always evil, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was always good, and Padme was always politically correct. It was very linear, and Anakin was always naive and childish, a little bit like Luke was always naive, but I like Han Solo, but that's a separate thing. There's nothing about Star Wars Acolyte that is off the Star Wars universe, in my opinion. There's nothing that doesn't fit. I can't read any clear political agendas behind this. Like, for example, if I watch a movie like Contagion or Civil War, where there seemed to be a political agenda to warn the public of a coming pandemic or warn the public of a coming political turmoil in America, that seems more politically motivated, or something like Syriana, talking about the politics in the Middle East. I can't see a very clear political agenda here. Another movie would be a clear example, Ice White Shot by Stanley Kubrick, clearly showing some of these Illuminati rituals. I don't see any of that here. I just see a story of twins, one to the Jedi, one to the dark side, the moral ambiguity, some very interesting Jedi Knight characters, a moon planet with some witches that does some divine feminine mystical magic, don't like the Jedi don't like them. Where's the communism, bro? Where's the lesbianism, bro? Where is the wokeness? Are there hidden agendas in this episode? Or is it in reality you who have a problem seeing black people playing lead roles in Star Wars?